Hey guys, welcome back. And on today's video, what I'm going to be doing is dumping the Mobil One that's in here. It's got about maybe 150, 200 miles on it. And we're going to be replacing it with the Amsoil Signature Series 5W30. I do not like Mobil One. I know there are a lot of people that do. If you like Mobil One, you use Mobil One, more power to you. Amsoil is just a much better oil, so I'm going to be doing that. The truck was owned by a relative of mine, and that's what they had the dealer put in there. It's also got the factory Toyota filter. Interesting fact, this vehicle has had 30 oil changes. It was changed every 4,500 to 5,000 miles its entire life. And looking at the inside of the valve cover, it is, well, hospital clean. And most of that was with conventional oil. So if you don't do a lot of stop and go driving and don't abuse the length of time on your oil, well, it can look like that. However, I want to put the best that is available as of this date, which is, what is today? June the 12th, 2021. And I'm also going to be using the Amsoil EA filter. I don't drive probably 10,000 miles in a year, so this will be an annual thing. So most videos out there that you see on these Tundras, this happens to be a 2006 Tundra, are on the 4.7 liter V8, which I wish this was, but it's not. It's the 4-liter V6, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with this engine. It's just a V6. I'm not a V6 fan, but it is what it is. Most of these trucks were built with the 4.7 V8. So I am going to redeploy the camera and show you where the oil filter is. Conveniently, Toyota has placed the filter right on top. It is in an upside down position, which is not cool. However, Toyota put a nice little drain hole right here, because when you loosen this, there's going to be a lot of oil. Whatever's in the oil filter is going to drain in here. And right below here, which I will take the camera off and show you in just a minute, there's a little nipple, and you can just take a piece of hose like I got. It's actually, the inside diameter should be 3/8, and I don't have anything that size. So it's close. That's a little bit smaller, and I'm going to take a plastic water bottle right here, and I'm just going to shove that down in there like that, and just lay that right on the frame rail. And anything that comes out of gets spilled out of the oil filter, well, that'll go right into the bottle and will not make a mess. So let's do that now. Here's an upper shot. There is the hole. And you see I've got my plastic water bottle with the line, and I don't know if the camera's picking it up. There we go. There's the little nipple. So the first step we need to do is just loosen this, and we'll let the oil drain into the catch area. So obviously when you do this, the engine needs to be up to operating temperature, which it is. And I'll just use this. There's not a lot of room here to spin this. This filter's really hot. Okay. And that works nice. It's going right into the bottle. Just as a bonus, I'll probably cut this oil filter open. It shouldn't have anything in it. It's got less than 200 miles on it, but there it is. So I'm going to take a clean paper towel and wipe this off. And I'm going to take some brake cleaner and clean, not the inside here, but I'm going to squirt some right here, so we'll minimize any drips when I remove the hose. All right, so I'm going to take our brand new Amsoil filter. Comes wrapped in plastic. And I'm going to show you guys something that's a real pet peeve of me. Don't use the dirty oil to put on the new filter. Just take your new bottle, do like that. Make sure, obviously, you've got a clean glove on, and take some new oil and put it on your new filter. That's all it takes. Yeah, it may never do anything, but still, why do that? So I'm going to take one more little swipe here, and then we'll put our Amsoil filter on. Okay, then I will squirt one more blast of brake parts cleaner just to make sure that little hole is clean. And once everything is done draining, I will go ahead and remove this hose. Okay. And then I've got the water bottle here. So that's about how much oil comes out of there. That would be dripping all over the place. Okay, so there's nothing left. So that's all it takes. All right, so before we go any further, I'm going to do a little spot test. Now again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this oil. We'll put a little spot on there, and we'll look at it a little bit later. And look at the cleanliness after, I don't know, 200 miles. So I'll just leave that there. All right, so next we're going to go underneath the vehicle. I'm going to show you how to drain the oil pan. All right, so here is our oil pan right here. There's no reason to remove this splash shield. Make sure that you don't do the pan that's back there that's underneath the transmission. That is the transmission fluid pan. So we're going to take a 14 millimeter socket, and let me reposition this camera just a little bit. I want to make sure to get the drain pan under here, or we will have a mess. Okay, so I'm just going to loosen this. Oil is going to be very hot. And there will be a crush washer, or there should be one here. Yeah, that's hot. So we'll just let that drain. And if you want, you can remove the filler cap on the valve cover just to let out any air, or it may help a little bit. So I'm gonna let this drain until there's nothing else coming out, and then we'll be right back. All right, so while we're waiting for this to finish draining, I'm going to remove the old crush washer off of here. It looks like it's, I would have hoped they would have replaced it, but anyway, the new ones from the Toyota dealer, they're blue on both sides. So we're just gonna put that there, and there is the part number. Most Toyota drain plugs are this part number, I believe. So yeah, let's go underneath the vehicle and get the drain plug back in. All right, so this thing would probably drip for hours if I let it. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this off. This makes a mess because it drips all over the frame rail. Now I'm sure there is a torque spec for this, as everything should have. It's probably, I don't know, around 16, 18 foot-pounds or so, but I'm just gonna put it on there just snug, okay? And then I'm gonna take some brake parts cleaner and clean all that frame rail off. This is probably one of the easiest oil changes you can do. Okay. All right, so I keep my clean oil funnel in this big bag to make sure that there's absolutely nothing in here. This thing is really old. Okay, so we'll just let it be like that. Now I believe that this holds just under 5 quarts, maybe like 4.7 or something. So I'm going to put 4.5 quarts in, and then we will see where we are. All right, so one little trick that I always do on anything I have that has an oil filter is take a magnet and put a big magnet on the side, just like that. You will be amazed at what or how much of filings, and I say filings, it's microscopic, but you can see it. You can see the outline of what the magnet will actually collect. So let's go ahead and give it a start up. I put 4.5 quarts of the Amsoil in there. So while this is running, we'll look at the spot on here. So that's definitely pretty clean oil. I made a mistake. It wasn't 200 miles. This has got about 750 miles on it. So it's not bad. I just don't like Mobil 1. Can I hear a difference? No. But that's not why we put the Amsoil in there. All right, so I'm gonna let this run. It's gonna get up to temperature. I'm gonna check the bottom, make sure there are no leaks, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, so we have absolutely no leaks. Everything is looking good, and the engine's running good. Oil pressure's good. I'll let this sit maybe about a couple hours and make sure the level is all right. I may have to add a couple of ounces, but anyway. So I know I'm going to get all kinds of comments about, you know, you wasting your money. You dumped the Mobil one. Look. I'm not trying to sell you guys anything, because I'm not. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. When I dumped the Mobil one out of the Chevy pickup truck, you would have thought that I had killed a kitten or something, the way some people are acting. Use whatever oil makes you feel good. If you want to use Walmart SuperTech or whatever, more power to you. I've been using Amsoil oil since I think around 1993 in everything I've ever owned, and I've had 2 vehicles that have lost total oil pressure, and I had to keep driving for a period of time. One of them was a diesel Volkswagen Rabbit. I had to drive for about a couple miles, maybe about 5 minutes in traffic, and another was the actual the Jetta when it blew the oil cooler O-ring. Both of them have had absolutely no internal damage. Had I been using regular oil, the engine probably, most likely, would have locked up like most engines will. Amsoil is just the best oil out there. That's all there is to it. It's 100% synthetic oil. If you look at every other oil that you can go buy at Wally World, including Mobil One, it will say full synthetic. Full synthetic oil is nothing more than Group 3 base stock, which is regular petroleum oil that's been highly refined. The federal government lets them label that as synthetic oil. It's funny how the rest of the world, they don't fall for that trick because they know it's not synthetic. Anyway, so Mobil One, this is some good facts. If you go find a original can of Mobil One from maybe as early as the 80s, when they were actually in the cardboard and metal containers. If you look on the back, it said the oil was good for 25,000 miles. I am almost positive that was Group 4 base stock, which is actual synthetic oil. But for whatever reason, they decided to, since they could label their petroleum oil synthetic, full synthetic, then they did that. So, you know, Mobil One went backwards, not forwards. Anyway, this isn't an Amsoil video. I don't have anything to sell you. I'm just showing you what I do. So we will have a lot more videos to come. The next video I'm going to do will be installing the DuraFit seat covers on the Tundra. And then, very exciting, this has the trailer tow package, of course, and we are going to be flushing, well, I'm going to say not flushing, we're going to be doing a transmission fluid exchange with, that's right, Amsoil. So this just has the regular Toyota world standard transmission fluid in there, and it is definitely not the most robust fluid ever. So I'm going to be switching that over to Amsoil, and we're going to be installing a magnifying transmission filter in line with the system. I'm going to be doing all that. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's very easy, and it needs to be done to make the transmission last even longer. These are great transmissions. They last a long time. They take an incredible amount of abuse. I'm probably going to go out on a limb and say that the Toyota automatic truck transmission is probably one of the most durable transmissions ever made. Ascend, Warner makes them. They're very, very good. They will stand up to abuse like no American transmission will. However, I like to make stuff last longer. So why not? Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching the video, and I will talk to you on the next one.